Okay, so the river that spiritualism talks about, they talk about how you should let yourself be taken by the river. Don't fight it, all right, because they equate it with God's will, all right, and with which it's not. It's God's timeline. Okay, that's all that the river is, God's timeline. So yeah, when they uh, say they get enlightened and they can feel the river, um, their first instinct is to, oh, okay, so I can just let myself float down the river and God will take care of everything at this point. Well, yeah, yeah, because God loves you and you're in tune to that energy. And so, yeah, life seems to go by easy. But if you're just floating um, and not realizing that the river never ends, and in fact, uh, so God doesn't want you to float down the river, is what I'm trying to say. Uh, okay, I don't float. I don't fight the current either. What do I do? Because I have free will. I go where I walk up and down the river. I'm investigating the river. I don't care if I hit rapids and it gets a little tough to walk that way, but I can walk against the river and be happy and feel the same thing that you do, but I at least have my free will and I am in charge of myself in the river. Okay, you all gave your free will up so that you can float down the river and have an easy life here. Okay, and you've given up on attachments of this world, so you don't care about trying to help fix any of the problems. And so that's why none of you have looked at the global thing of what's really going on. You're so focused on yourself and the self and saying it's all the uh, individual's purpose to find their own way to enlightenment, to be able to float down the river. Okay, yeah, the human species would be in trouble if we all just floated down the river, and because God doesn't have the plan for it. God just has time and says, "Here you go. Here's your home and playground, and this is forever." Okay, the river goes on forever because time is forever, and because God is outside of time. God is the only thing that could be outside of time. I've told you about my progression in another video of the timeline that if you keep going half steps to the door, right? Half steps, half steps, half steps, half steps, you'll never reach it. Okay? And that's God's timeline. So, yeah, I'm talking to all the Hindus and spiritual leaders. Please stop preaching that because if you don't, we're going to have a psychic war on our hands. And the human species is going to have a harder time getting past this point. So, if you see this, hit subscribe and like.